Welcome to the Keychain Podcast, where every key tells a story.
I'm Matt.
I'm Meesh.
And today we're bringing you the people, the partners, and the purpose behind the Matt Harnick real estate team on my 55th birthday.
Oh, we're so excited. Happy birthday.
Yay. Thank you.
So on your birthday, there's nothing better to talk about than...
The state of the market.
Yeah. What does 2026 look like now? What do we think it's going to look like? Don't quote us. Don't use this against us. This is just our opinions.
Totally opinion.
Yeah. Using obviously some data that we've looked into, but as of right now versus what we see coming down the pipeline for the rest of the year.
Correct. And this is really, again, obviously, as Meesh just said, this is really just founded upon what we've seen so far in our little corner of the world with our clients here in Philadelphia Metro.
Yep.
So with that,
let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So here as we sit today, it's February 3rd. We will do our best. Meesh just said to me, she's like, do you really want to edit this podcast on your 55th birthday? And I'm like, well, we'll see. We'll see, maybe. So you may see this a couple days from now. But yeah, I mean, what we've seen so far for the first month of the market established in 2026 is so far things really seem to be kind of carrying over from 2025. I don't really notice much difference. Rates are kind of holding in there. We actually just had a buyer who, we were going to make an offer on a property. Unfortunately, after we'd written everything up and we're ready to go, literally 5 minutes earlier, it went pending and we were kind of locked out of that. But the agent was very, very nice and actually just gave us a little more information than most agents probably would have at that point and said, listen, don't feel badly. It went $35,000 over asking, which was, again, a bit of a wake-up call. And it kind of gave us that reinforcement that you know what? This is sort of 2025A, if you will, in terms of the market.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. And then we had another one where we had a client that was looking at a house in the Telford-Souderton area. And I reached out to the agent because I saw that it was still active. And I was like, hey, and he goes, hold your thought. It's actually going to go pending. And I was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, well, how did it go? And he goes, well, my open house had 20-some people, and it was the weekend of the massive snowstorm. He said we had
last week.
Yeah, he's like, we had 6 offers on Sunday. He's like, so while I'm trying to shovel my snow, I'm also trying to check my phone and make sure that I have enough power to be able to, do these offers for my seller. And I was like, well, congratulations to you. That is fantastic. But that's what we're seeing.
And just to give you an idea, especially for folks that are not in our local market here, January is usually, it's hit or miss, but oftentimes it's slow. It just is slow. Sometimes it's because of the weather, sometimes because the Eagles are making a playoff run. Not this year.
Holiday fatigue. Sometimes there's
holiday fatigue
stuff that January tends to be on the slower side. People aren't moving or making moves unless they have to. Usually we see it pick up after this weekend, after the Super Bowl. People are all fired up. They realize they had so many people in their house that they can't fit them and they need to upgrade, or they see, hey, we actually went to someone's house. We might actually be able to do that downgrade of a home or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That is so not happening. We're seeing movement I don't think I've seen this kind of movement since maybe 22, 23, where it's been just steady like this.
Yeah. And one of the other key indicators for us in particular, we've been talking about this for a while now, how there's been sort of a lack of inventory about, our buyers have, maybe not this past year so much, but in the last few years, have had to give up on things sometimes like inspections, or have had to go well over asking, or had to name, their child after the firstborn of the owner. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And this year, we have a listing pipeline I don't think I've ever seen. I have never seen in my 20 years in real estate. We just have an unbelievable pipeline of houses that are ready to come on the market. It's a 10 or a dozen. It's a lot. And it feels like every week we're actually adding maybe one more to that. I don't remember seeing this. And that to me also is a really big key, because if we have seen it so far for the last, let's say, few years, where it's been such heavily weighted seller's market, and buyers down here, we definitely see the scales are starting to equalize. Not as much as I think we had thought.
Yeah, I think everyone predicted it be a very rapid kind of movement. It hasn't been that like jump scare that everyone was talking, but you can definitely feel it. And I think it's so important because our buyers towards the end of the year were just getting so
frustrated,
burnt out, tired. They're like, what more can we do? And a lot of them said, we're going to take the rest of December off, maybe even the beginning of January. And then like the second to third week of January hit, and all of a sudden they started coming back and they're like, hey, we saw this house. It's been sitting for a little while longer than what it would have last year. What do you think? And I'm like, let's go see it.
So it's sort of a juxtaposition of, on the one hand, we do see the market is shifting. It's not shifted, but it's shifting towards more of a balanced market. Again, more inventory, and we can only speak for, our experience here, but again, more of a listing inventory than we've seen for a while. On the other hand, again, like we just said, we had a buyer who, would have made an offer on this house, and they were beat out by $35,000 to the deposit. And I'm like, so it's almost like it's neighborhood by neighborhood, right? Like we had a house that we put on the market. It actually settled last week. We had it on the market on January 20th. It settled January 30th. We had 10 offers. So you never know. But again, all these indicators to me are sort of saying like, it's going to be a really interesting year and definitely not a balanced market so far, but it's shifting more towards the buyers. I think it's still going to be a seller's market though, from what we've seen so far.
I think at least through the next couple of months. Yeah.
I think the spring, once we get deep into the spring, like April, May, maybe even the early summer, I think
I was just going to say, like, I see it being kind of where we're at until like Q2. Come back to us then, because I think we might be telling a different story.
Maybe. Or maybe we're just, clairvoyant. Who knows?
Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be.
I think that would be fun.
It would be. And actually, it's funny because speaking of our listings, there are a number of them. We have some really interesting listings coming up.
We do.
Talk about one of them. One of your favorites.
One of my favorites. I really like the Bluebell condo, just because we've watched it kind of transform over the last year. So those are always my favorite, is when you see someone who's like, do we need to do the work, or can we kind of just go without it? And Matt is great at advising of like the key points that should really elevate the home.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's what he's done with actually a couple of our listings that we have coming up. There's been just like minor tweaks that were like, if you do like a couple of these things, you're going to really put yourself in a better situation. So I really like that one.
Ellen and Mike's listing.
Yes.
So we have this unbelievable, and Ellen and Mike, I'm going to make sure you watch this episode because we're talking about you.
Yeah.
They have this gorgeous house in Richboro. It's in a neighborhood called Northampton Crossing, and it's this beautiful single family, like with a lot of land, really nice flat backyard. And they're the original owners. They bought it new. There's every once in a while you have a house that pops up in that neighborhood, and it just goes. So we went coming soon. And for those of you who aren't sure what that means, like coming soon is sort of the stage before when it goes active on the market, meaning you can see it's on the market. You can't show it. You can't go inside of it. It's really just more about pre-marketing, like before it actually goes active on the market, before people can see it. Every day we get like another call or two calls, or I get excited texts from agents like, hey, remember me? We met 15 years ago. So when can I get into that property?
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for them because they have been looking forward to doing this for a long time, to putting their house on the market. And they're going to knock it out of the park. I mean, they are working so hard. And I'm not just saying this because they're my family, but they're really working very hard to just make a great first impression. And I'm so excited to see what they do with this.
Yeah, I really like, Matt and I have had this conversation a couple of times now. Like, I really like our listing inventory because it's so vast. Like we've got something for everybody. And I'm just excited to see our sellers and like watch them go through this process, because since I've been a part of the team, it's like I've never really gone through a really long selling process, right? So like I'm excited to watch these guys just knock it out of the park with everything that they've done.
Yep. Susan and Loretta too. So we have a mother and a daughter who are looking forward to both living near each other in Delaware. the mom, Loretta's house in Philadelphia is about to go on the market. We were supposed to have photos yesterday, but the problem in the city right now, in a lot of areas of the city, is that the snow and ice has sort of made it almost where you can't get to houses.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's almost like, is it almost even worth going on the market now? And then they were concerned that we wouldn't even be able to get our photographer in there just because it's just, it's like an impasse. So we're going to wait another week, but I'm very excited to see what happens with them. Their house is beautiful home, just really well taken care of. Loretta's lived there for about 20 years now, maybe a little over 20 years. And they're just so excited to get the process rolling. I mean, we love our clients. And we were just talking the other day how we've right now, all at the same time, we've got such a wonderful group of clients, buyers and sellers, investors, even just renters too. It's just a whole, just really nice group of people. And we're just so excited to see how their story plays out.
100%.
Their chapter.
Yes. I'm so excited. Cause you hear me say it all the time. I love being that little yellow ball of amazingness that comes from when we get to tell them, hey, you're under contract. Or, I mean, especially some of our buyers, I set up all their searches and I see these homes that come through and I'm like, oh, this one is so good. I can't wait for them to see it because I preview it before and it happened today. I was going through and I saw one and I'm waiting on pins and needles for the email that says we need to get in this house. And 5 minutes later, the girl emailed me and she goes, we have to see this one. Can you get us in with the rest of them? It's right in the same neighborhood. I was like, I saw you heart it. I knew it was coming. It's already in the showing cart. I'm moving stuff around to make it work for you. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So that's the stuff that I really, really like.
Yesterday, I met a new client. She's a vet and she was stationed in Alaska. She still owns her house in Alaska. She currently lived in Texas, just sold her house in Texas, moved here a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And when we were talking yesterday, one of the things that we really like to make sure that we get across with our clients is look, there's going to be contracts and there's words and there's things and there's money and transactional stuff. But for us, this is about the people. Mm-hmm. So tell me about you. What do I need to know about you? And we just, out of what was probably an hour and a half meeting, about an hour of it was just us just kind of getting to know each other. Because for us, at the end of the process, of buying a house or selling a house, it's about the people. We've said this before, we don't talk about transactions. It's about how many families can we help this year. And when we got to sort of the heart of the matter for her, what is it that drives you to do this? She's been living apart from her dog for some time now. The dog's been living with her mom out of state. I want to say, I think it was Oklahoma. But she wants a house where her dog can be, and she wants a yard where the dog can just run around and have some freedom. And I just sat there tearing up because I'm like, I get it. Can you imagine being separated from Rory for a year?
Nope. I had a hard enough time being separated from my puppy for the week that I was in Florida. I had to FaceTime the dog from the pool because I missed her so much. I couldn't imagine being away from my pup for a year.
No, same. It's just, dogs are such a big part of both of our lives, which is actually just a little sneak preview of what our next podcast is going to be talking about. Dun-dun-dun. We'll get there. But we have such an amazing group of clients right now that we're working with, and just, the ability to sort of help them in this very beginning stage with a lot of the anxiety and the unsuredness of where are we going next? What's that house going to look like? Are we going to be able to sell? This is the stuff that we thrive on, being able to, help them see past the immediacy of the market and stuff, and really just be able to help themselves visualize where they're going next.
And kind of get them away from all the media market stuff, right?
Yeah.
You hear about it on all the major news networks and all of the apps and all of those things. Yes, they're great to get general information, but we want to be your guide when it comes to the specific neighborhoods, the specific area, because they're reporting nationally, which is not always the same as what's happening right here in our little sector of the world.
Yep.
So we can talk about the state of the market and we'll happily have that conversation with everybody, as we should, but it's going to be very different than what they hear on
national news
because
100%.
we're just a very specialized unit here in this little tiny part of Pennsylvania.
We are.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, obviously the only thing we can talk about is our experience, but that's our experience so far.
Yeah. So if you have any specific questions, feel free to either message us, call us, find us on harnickteam.com and submit a little question on our contact us button, but we'll be happy to give you a more specific look of the state of the market for your area.
Absolutely. And once again, thank you very much for watching the latest episode of the Keychain Podcast. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.